Hello and welcome to my Best Division Template Series 2024, and we are going to start with my favorite template, that is the Armor Spearhead All-Round for early war, that not only works very well in plains and hills, but also in forest and mountains. So let's start with a small demonstration on how it works. First, you get planning bonus, then you attack in two directions. Now, since the update, you need to attack in two directions with your spearhead, so we are going to use 3 divisions for this template. And then you check the strategy, the tactic I mean, and it's okay. Shock, it's nice, so we are going to use the special ability for attack. The war just started between France and Italy and England. As you can see, we are wiping out the enemy defenses quite quickly. And I want to show you the speed. The speed is very important because it prevents the enemy from reinforcing the position. We are moving into mountains, and if you mouse over, you can see that we are moving at 5.5 in the mountains. That is very important. The tracks are very slow there, so it's kind of super good to move that fast. That way you are going to be able to encircle the enemy units. And now the enemy is mounting a counterattack, and the stats on defense are quite good. So let's wait for the enemy to fail, and we keep advancing. And now we are going to check again the speed. Is very important. After we defeat this unit, check the stats. It's okay for an early war, year 37, 38, 600 damage is super fine. And if we check the speed again in forest, we are moving at 4.2. If we are using trucks here, we will be moving at 1 km/h. To make the unit full all kind of terrain, you need to get improvisation expert. It's super easy to get because you just need to have an expertise in any terrain. And trickster. Trickster is very easy to obtain. I made a video on this. You just need to attack from 3 directions for a little while, and you get trickster. And then with the combined with the terrain, you get the improvisation expert. Improvisation expert allows you to use this special ability that gives you a big boost when crossing rivers. Improvisation expert also gives you speed. Trickster gives you better tactic, and try to get panzer leader, of course, for more speed, and if possible, engineer for more speed and even more bonuses on river cross. Field marshal, get the organizer trait, is super easy to get. I made a video on this. And promote him to thorough planner. That will give you a 10% planning bonus that will translate into a 20% more damage. About the requirements, we are going to be using, instead of recon company, the scout, the engineers, that give us much better bonuses, and you have 2 options. I prefer this one that gives plus 20 on mountains, but if you play as Finland or the Soviet Union, you may wish this one that gives you a bonus in snow. The most important weapon is this one that will give us the close support gun that gives a lot of soft attack, and as soon as you have, you're going to be using the improved howitzer, the medium howitzer, for the medium tank. For tanks, we are going to be using light tanks. It's better the light tank 2, and later in 38 you are going to be replacing the light tank 2 by the medium tank. And let's start from the beginning because it's very important to train your general and division manpower. Let's say that you have a basic light tank template. Start with that. Why? Because it has the proper ratio for your general to train as panzer leader. The final template is going to be using only horses and tanks, because the ranger, that the most important company they are going to use to get those special bonuses, uses horses, so we are limited to 6.4. And despite this move at 12, they have super high penalties on every kind of terrain, so we are going to be using horses. Also, 36 tanks are not that fast. So we keep this ratio, so the unit is tank, and we train the general keeping this ratio, so you get the panzer leader XP. But very soon, from day 1, as soon as you got XP, fill the unit with horses, and keep filling here with horses. We have 3. That's it, 3 units, and we are going to be replacing these 3,000 men, 1,000 men. Each of these battalion use 1,000 men, and you send this, for example, to Spain. Then, as you get more tanks, you are going to be replacing the infantry 1 by 1 by tanks. Sorry, here I added a horse, add trucks, so you keep the ratio, and the unit is considered armor, so you get the panzer leader bonus. And then keep replacing the trucks, 1 truck, and add 2 light tanks. So you keep the manpower and you keep the XP. Be careful before sending the unit to Spain for training that the unit has the full manpower, because in Spain the manpower allocation is very low. Finally, you are going to be having 2 lines of light tanks, and you will have this template. This template is an intermediate template, it's not final. As soon as you get technologies, you are going to be able to add the hospital for more XP. You are going to able to add the logistic. This is now very important since the last patch, because as soon as you get a little bit far from your supply depot, you are going to be getting penalties from lack of supplies, so this helps. And you are going to be using the rangers, and you're going to be using the Engineers for speed and bonus on terrain, the Ranger for speed and bonus on terrain, and you're going to be replacing Artillery with the Signal Company. The Signal Company will give you a 100% boost to your close air support, and also will reduce your splash damage, and that you are going to be making more concentrated damage, more critical hit. In other words, made a full video about this. So replace this one with the Signal Company when you have it. I don't have it yet, so this is my intermediate template. And also you're going to be needing anti-air and anti-tank. For this you can design a special template for anti-tank and a special template for anti-air, or you can just use this, and you're going to be spending just one combat width. Same with anti-tank, so it's a cheap and easy option. The trucks here are not going to be huge penalizer because you have many horses and the Rangers, so you can add the anti-tank here. But if you want to add a super armor anti-air, it will increase your armor bonus, and that is good for maybe late war. This is the early template, but we are going to modify these tanks when you have them in 38. You're going to replace light tank by medium tanks, and we're going to go to the designs. But remember that if you don't have the tanks, you can keep using the trucks and keep replacing them by tanks. As soon as you have the tanks, each tank you add, you will give more firepower, but the unit will be barely powerful using just 1, 2, or 3 tanks. Same happens with the designs. You can use a light tank version 1. We are using right now a light tank version 2. It's better using just one single man, since we are concentrated a lot of tanks. You don't need that much breakthrough, since we are going to be using a lot of armor here that will match the speed to 6.4. We have a huge breakthrough from the armor points. We are using a heavy machine guns, close support gun, the cheapest wielding, the standard transmission and engine, and later you can replace this tank by a better one. We are going to be adding a light machine gun. We are going to be adding a fuel tank, and when you have the division fully complete, you can add this or a few models to improve the armor of the whole divisions, and you can replace the division. But use this only when you have the tank full, the tank division full of tank. And in 38, 39, when you have the tank technology for medium tanks, you're going to be replacing these light tanks by the medium tank with the medium howitzer, and later with the improved howitzer. You should keep the speed at 6.4, and you are going to be using 2 heavy machine guns instead of 1.